Ever wondered how secure your network really is? Are there hidden vulnerabilities waiting to be exploited? Well, the truth is, there's no network impervious to threats. In the vast universe of network administration, lurking vulnerabilities are like black holes, invisible yet potentially destructive. The key to safeguarding your network lies in a crucial process called vulnerability management. It's a continuous cycle of identifying, classifying, prioritizing, remediating, and mitigating vulnerabilities. But it doesn't stop there. A crucial step often overlooked is verifying scan results. Why, you ask? Well, false positives can mislead us into wasting resources on non-existent threats, while false negatives can leave real vulnerabilities undetected. Both cases can lead to devastating consequences if not addressed. This video will take a deep dive into the intriguing world of vulnerability management, focusing on the importance of verifying scan results. Stay tuned to understand how to keep your network secure and robust. Vulnerability management is the process that helps identify, evaluate, treat, and report on security vulnerabilities in systems and the software that runs on them. It's an essential aspect of cybersecurity, likened to a well-oiled machine, constantly whirring to maintain the robustness of your network. Now let's delve into the 4 significant steps involved in vulnerability management: identification, classification, remediation, and mitigation. Firstly, identification. Think of it as a high-powered flashlight, illuminating the darkest corners of your network. Using various tools and techniques, we scour the system to uncover any potential security vulnerabilities. It's like a relentless detective, tirelessly searching for any clues that could lead to a weakness in the system. Next, we have classification. Once we've identified potential vulnerabilities, we need to assess their severity. It's akin to a triage nurse, determining which patients need immediate attention and which ones can wait. We categorize each vulnerability based on its potential impact on the network, helping us prioritize our efforts. Now let's move on to remediation. This is where we roll up our sleeves and get to work. Remediation is the process of fixing the vulnerabilities we've identified and classified. It's the handyman of the process, patching up holes, tightening loose screws, ensuring everything is in tip-top shape. Finally, we have mitigation. Sometimes a vulnerability cannot be immediately remedied. In such cases, we implement strategies to reduce the potential impact of the vulnerability. It's like installing a temporary fix until a more permanent solution can be found. These steps are not a one-and-done deal, though. They are part of a continuous cycle, a relentless pursuit of security. After mitigation, we go back to identification and start the whole process again. We constantly monitor the system, ready to spring into action at the first sign of trouble. Just like a vigilant night watchman, vulnerability management never sleeps. It's always on the job, ensuring your network is as secure as it can possibly be. It's a continuous cycle, constantly working to protect your network. Running a vulnerability scan is only the beginning. The real work starts when the scan results come in. At first glance, you might think that the vulnerability scanning process ends once you've got your results. But let's not be hasty here. A crucial part of the process is verifying these results. Why, you ask? Well, it's not unlike picking apples. You don't just dump them all into your basket. You inspect each one to ensure it's not rotten or bruised. Similarly, verifying scan results helps you sift through the data and differentiate between what's a threat and what's not. Now, let's delve deeper into this process. Verification helps to avoid false positives and negatives. It's not uncommon for a vulnerability scanner to flag a potential issue that isn't actually a problem, a false positive, or it might miss a real issue entirely, a false negative. These inaccuracies can lead to wasted time and resources, or worse, overlooked threats. Verification acts as a safety net, catching these inaccuracies before they cause any real damage. And there's more. This process also helps to prioritize vulnerabilities based on their severity. Not all vulnerabilities are created equal. Some are like a tiny leak in a boat, while others are more akin to a gaping hole. Knowing which vulnerabilities pose the most significant threat allows you to prioritize your efforts effectively. You can patch that gaping hole before your boat starts to sink, while the tiny leaks can be plugged later. In the world of cybersecurity, time is of the essence. Every minute counts, so it's essential to focus your efforts where they're needed the most. And how do you know where that is? Verification. By verifying your scan results, you can ensure that your time and resources are spent wisely, tackling the most severe threats first. Without verification, you might be fighting fires that don't exist, or worse, ignoring the ones that do. So the next time you run a vulnerability scan, remember, the real work starts when the scan results come in. So, what have we learned today? We've delved into the complex world of network administration, focusing on vulnerability management. This process, as we've learned, is not a one-and-done task. Rather, it's a continuous cycle that involves identifying, classifying, remediating, and mitigating vulnerabilities. At the heart of this process, we've explored the critical step of verifying scan results. This is the stage where we sift through the noise, separate the wheat from the chaff, so to speak. It's the process of verifying whether the vulnerabilities detected are genuine or false positives. This step is crucial, as it helps us focus our resources on the actual threats, rather than chasing shadows. We've also emphasized the importance of understanding the context of each vulnerability. We need to look at each security flaw, not in isolation, but within the larger network environment. How does it interact with other system components? How could it potentially be exploited? These are the questions that drive effective vulnerability management. But we aren't done after we've patched a vulnerability. Oh no, far from it. After we've remedied a flaw, we need to rescan to ensure the vulnerability has been properly addressed. This is a testament to the cyclical nature of vulnerability management. It's an ongoing process of scanning, verifying, remediating, and rescanning. In essence, vulnerability management is a continuous journey, not a destination. It requires a proactive attitude, consistent effort, and a keen eye for detail. And most importantly, it demands vigilance. Vigilance to stay on top of new vulnerabilities, vigilance to verify scan results, and vigilance to ensure your network remains secure in an ever-evolving threat landscape. So there you have it, the critical process of vulnerability management and the indispensable role of scan results verification. It's a complex, demanding, yet absolutely essential aspect of network administration. Remember, in the world of cybersecurity, vigilance is key. Stay safe and keep your network secure.